Allie, we are live on my page. We're recording and we will be putting it on Duxbury Wellness site shortly. So we have a couple minutes before we get started, but just wanted to kind of place the placeholder here for 2 minutes before 7. So we're fine. We can just chit chat. And how's the dog? Is the dog better?
Yes, my sister's dog has a knee issue, so we're trying to be careful with him.
Oh, well, I don't know if you had pet chews in your original kit that you bought. He might want some of those, but we are coming out with Surf and Turf this month for dogs and cats, which is a tincture. So maybe we'll have to have
We'll have to try that.
that go into your repertoire of things as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
I this might be a little bit beyond that, but
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. You know, it's hard to know when people and animals and everybody have issues, if it's chronic and more is needed, or if it's just a kind of balancing thing. So we'll see. So Allie, while we're waiting, why don't you just tell me something about like that you love, something that you enjoy doing, or something great from the summer, just to kind of wait a couple minutes before we get started.
Well, one great thing from the summer being from the South Shore is going out on my sister's boat and bringing the dogs, and you can go to different sandbars. Brown's Bank is a big one. So we all pile up in their boat with the dogs and coolers and a grill, and you just go out there for the day, and the dogs can run free and you can grill up your lunch.
Oh my
And it's
God.
just such a great part of being on the South Shore.
Wow. Do you guys take the dogs all the time when you go out on the boat?
Yes.
Oh, nice. They're spoiled. I mean,
They are very spoiled.
Yeah. We have a husky in our family, and when we go to the lake, we go to the Adirondacks, and we sometimes take the dog in the boat, and the dog really likes it a lot. But you got the pink life jacket, and you know, she looks like the hood ornament, and we start going fast, and we're holding her, making sure she doesn't jump off.
Yeah.
But it's good. It's really good.
How big is she?
She's not that big. I mean, I don't know. Maybe she weighs 40 pounds, 45 pounds. She's not like those big, fluffy kinds. She's just more petite. But
because one of my sisters, or both of my sister's dogs, they're puppies. They're about 8 months old, and they are Berner Husky Golden mixes.
Oh my gosh.
And the little girl looks like a husky, and she howls like a husky.
Yeah, they got a distinctive howl, don't they?
She loves, yes, it's adorable.
It's so cute. And they can talk too. Like they get their own little way. You can sort of teach them.
Absolutely.
You do, I love you. And
Yes.
You'll have to bring pictures next time I see you. I'll bring them to work. And then when I come over, I'd love to see pictures of that dog. That mix is amazing. So it's just 7 o'clock. We're going to get started. I'm Nancy Feth, and I'm here with Dr. Allison Austin, who is the owner of Duxbury Wellness. And Allie is a chiropractor, and I'm going to let you just say hello and talk a little bit about what you do at the center, and then we will talk about CBD.
All right. So Duxbury Wellness Center, it's a chiropractic and massage center right now. Those are the two main offerings that we have. I'm also working with a couple of other wellness practitioners to bring on. I think we're going to introduce a woman that is getting her certification in breath work, as well as somebody that is a homeopath. So I'm very excited. I've met with both of them, and I'm going to get to have sessions with both of them for myself. So that will be great. So we really just focus on allowing people to go through whatever they're going through in a more natural healing process. Mm-hmm. We work with people on different stretches, different lifestyle changes that they can make, really just trying to bring them back to their natural state of health.
That is so good. And I am a client. I go to see Dr. Allie, and it's great because I kind of went just feeling the pressure in my neck, and I had the privilege of having her use the Graston technique on me, and it was amazing. I like deep tissues, so it was just a natural thing to have you do that work. And then I noticed, even just going back the second time, how already when you did it again, it felt so good. Like my tissue, it wasn't just that you kind of worked through stuff that first day, but it stayed, and
Yes.
so I really like
Yeah, the
that.
Graston technique is not specific to chiropractic. Other practitioners, physical therapists, occupational therapists can use it, but it's very effective at dealing with not just chronic soft tissue problems, but even acute. Somebody sprains their ankle, you want to make sure that you're dealing with tendons and muscles as they heal, to make sure that they heal nice and long and smooth, rather than having scar tissue or adhesions, making those tissues short and tight. So I've had great results with it.
And I know you use kind of a lubricant when you do that. And we'll talk a little bit about some of the new things you're going to be considering adding to your repertoire in the CBD space. So that's great. So I wanted to kind of ask, you have recently decided to offer JOIYA Wellness and CBD products to your patients. And I want to kind of know why you said yes to bringing CBD on, and just kind of what your thoughts are around that.
A lot of my patients have been asking about different CBD products. So many of them, there's so many on the market, and I wanted to bring something in that I could use both in my practice and then also offer patients and massage clients things that they could also just do on their own. So one product that I'm going to be able to use in the practice is the Remedy Balm, which I have a little sample of that here. And the reason why I can use this in the practice and on patients is because with one of the Graston tools, this is an example of one of the tools, because of the way it's packaged, I can use this and disinfect the tool in between each use. And CBD is just a little bit deeper than other things that I've been using with the tools. I've used BioFreeze, which is great. It's a little more topical, where the CBD has more active ingredients that can really get in for deeper healing. And I just think that it's a great opportunity to offer my clients, as I said, other things that they can use for natural healing and pain relief.
Well, I was lucky to have you use it on me, and I was like, oh, this is delicious. I didn't expect it. I've used the Remedy Balm. I've used it on one of my shoulders, been upset from things, or I had a knot in my back, and I've used it for headaches and all kinds of good things. But I had no idea how nice it would feel with the Graston tool and your technique. It was amazing. It was just really noticeable. And I don't know. I could be making it up that it went in really fast, but I think also just the viscosity of it was really nice. So it just, it was gliding really nicely. So so that's good.
Yeah, it's a great compliment to the tools, and the tools help me get a little bit deeper into the soft tissue. They're stainless steel, and so as opposed to me just using my hand where there's more give, the stainless steel tools not only allow me to get a little bit deeper, but I can feel with the tool as I use it over different parts of the body where there might be trigger points or scar tissue or adhesions built up, and really work the product in, which I think is going to be a great combination.
And I love that you've decided to carry it, because now clients, your patients can order it and have it shipped right to their house. They can order direct from you. And just for people watching that are in Allie's community, I'm a resource for the center. So if anybody needs, help with a wellness consultation or anything, she can refer them to me, and I can do some of that work for her and invite them to place an order directly with Allie, and then it will ship. So I can do all that for you, help you service your community. And we're just really, really excited that you could have this at home. So in between sessions, when you're there, you're actually able to still get relief, particularly when it's bedtime. So,
and I'm excited to have you as a resource, because I wanted to introduce other products, but it's really hard for me to split my time between seeing patients and dealing with a product line. And that's why it's so great to have you as a health advisor that's so much more knowledgeable about the products and what might work for different people. And we were talking earlier about there's options for pets, which I think is great. And that I can refer people to you as, the knowledge source.
Awesome. Well, it's a pleasure. And we're so close to each other. It's simple to work together. as we are able to gather again, we can consider doing gatherings and invite people. But for now, we've got Zoom. Oops, somebody's
Yes.
coming in. Let's admit. We got Danila, it looks like, is coming in to join us. Hello, Danila. Welcome. We're just introducing ourselves and just getting ready to start. This
Hello.
is Danila. We are live on Facebook, just letting you know, love, we're live on Facebook and we are recording. So we're just at the part, we did a little overview on Duxbury Wellness and kind of Allie's decision to bring it in to the center. And we're gonna, just so people know when they watch this later, we're gonna do a little intro to CBD. Oh, we got somebody else. Brittany's coming in. Let's invite her in. Hello, Brittany, how are you? She's coming in. I don't know if she has audio yet. I just met Brittany tonight and we were just on the phone, so I'm so happy you're here. And Brittany, I just want to let you know, this is streaming in a private Facebook group and it is being recorded, just so you know. So if there's any, I'm glad it's just your first name, so that there's some privacy there. And Danila, if you are able to watch the chat for me and just let us know if anybody does come in with anything. It's streaming in the Peace and Joy group right now. I thought we could stream it in multiple groups, but we're going to just put that recording up later, or watch the chat in the Zoom. Either way, right now I don't know.
You want me to watch the chat in the Zoom or in Peace and Joy?
The chat in the Zoom, and then if you happen to have another screen to see Peace and Joy, great. If not, no worries. If you want to watch it from your phone or anything, just to see.
I will.
No pressure. No pressure. Whatever you can do. So we're going to move right along and we are going to talk a little bit about CBD, and I'm going to share my screen. So let me just do that and put up this presentation. Can everybody see that? You should see.
Yes.
An intro CBD. Perfect. So let me talk a little bit about JOIYA, a little bit about CBD, what makes us different and things. And our intention in showing this is just so we can lend some confidence to people about CBD as a kind of addition to your wellness routine. Because many people don't really know a lot about CBD. They hear about it and they just think what they've kind of made up from, anecdotal things they've heard, or they assume it's marijuana, and it's a little bit more sophisticated than that, yet kind of simple. So we're going to just kind of talk about this. So I'd like you to just think, if you do know anything about CBD, what you know about CBD. And maybe you can jot it down or put it in the chat, but just think, do you have any knowledge about it? Do you have a feeling about it? Just what comes up for you when you think about CBD? And somebody is typing, so if you can just mute while you're typing, that'd be great. And so this is actually a presentation that is part of a brochure that we have. We can email this to you if anybody's interested in reading that fine print in there, or if you would like a printed version, we have some of those for you as well. But people typically don't really know a whole lot about CBD. Part of that reason is it hasn't really been available, hasn't really been in the market. And this is a relatively new addition to the wellness scene, although CBD and hemp and marijuana have been around for centuries. So it's hard to know what is really believable and true and real when you see things that are being published and put out there in the media, particularly social media, just because it's kind of like the Wild West right now. People are just able to have CBD in the market, and I'll talk about why later, but the Farm Bill passed in 2018, opening this up. And so everybody's trying to get in the market and bring their products. And many of the products are very good, but some of them are actually not the level of quality that you might want. So that's kind of one of the things we're going to do. We're going to kind of talk a little bit about CBD, where it comes from, and how it works. So most people, when they hear CBD, they think marijuana. And it's understandable. Marijuana is this bigger part of this bigger species of plants, of which marijuana does have some CBD in it. But the CBD that we use actually comes from hemp, which is in that same family as the marijuana, in the cannabis family. It's a different species, and it's very different in that the marijuana has essentially more of an active ingredient called THC, which is a compound that makes us high, or it's a psychoactive compound, and just a little bit of CBD. Whereas hemp, on the other side, has CBD, higher concentration of CBD and less THC. So why that's important is because when you're selecting a product, you want to be sure you know what you're getting. And you want to be sure you're having something that's legal. And the hemp has now been pretty much endorsed, but the government passed the Farm Bill in 2018, allowing us to make products from hemp and distribute them and study them. And so the hemp that is less than 0.3% THC free, THC is essentially the product that we use to make the JOIYA products. So you can kind of see this. This is just talking about the different parts of the plant and the species and things. So the brief history, like it's been used for centuries, right? It's been used to make rope. It's been used for clothing. It's been even been used for medicine over the years. But basically in 2018, this is when the Farm Bill passed. This is when it was legal to begin to use hemp again, to study it, and to basically bring products to market. And it's interesting, if you have your eyes on, you can see this small print. There was a Marijuana Tax Act in 1937 that basically made it illegal in the United States, with the exception of medical and industrial. So cannabis was like a no-no back in the 30s. And then in the 70s, it got locked in with just being illegal in general. So it's really only now for the last couple of years that we've been able to learn about the properties of it and start to make these products. So it's beneficial for a lot of reasons. It is used a lot to help people with inflammation. It's great for sleep, for pain, for occasional anxiety. And a lot of people, these are some interesting statistics. There were different studies that had been done, and 66% of the people that were studied were sleeping better. That was an interesting thing. For pain and PTSD, in an hour, people were seeing relief. And for arthritis, 26% found it was helping them with their symptoms from arthritis. Now, we are not doctors. We don't diagnose and treat. We can't recommend for specific remedies as if we're saying this is your prescription, but we can tell you what we have learned with the research that's out there and point you in the direction. And we look at the symptoms. And we can tell you that there's a lot of testimonials that are coming in from people that have had conditions that are feeling better because they introduce CBD. And we typically introduce a baseline of CBD, and then depending on the issue, there's a targeted solution that comes in. So how does CBD work? Essentially, we have an endocannabinoid system in our body, which has receptors all over the body that help things to work properly. And our body naturally makes endocannabinoids, which work with these receptors. It's almost like a signaling system. It's in our brain, it's in our organs, it's all around. And it helps things to, like it notices when things aren't working well, and it helps things to adjust. So where CBD comes in with this is it's a phytocannabinoid, which is made by the plant, and that helps support our body's own system. So it helps our own endocannabinoids to work properly, and it helps to bring balance to our body and allow our body to do what it does naturally well, which is create homeostasis. So in our product line, we have topicals, we have things we can take in ingesting it. We also have some pet products. And one of the things that we first talk to people about is their tolerance or interest in having any THC. And the reason I say that is there's a full spectrum product, a broad spectrum product, and an isolate product. And the full spectrum, although it doesn't have enough THC to get you high, does have trace amounts, less than 0.3% THC in the product. So if you were to buy a tincture that had a little bit of THC in it, a full spectrum tincture, the benefit would be that you get the CBD, but you also get all the flavonoids and terpenes and things that are part of the plant that are also shown to be very synergistic with the body. And you get less than 0.3% THC. The reason that's a nice thing to have if you can tolerate it or if you're not getting drug tested is because the science has shown that there's a synergistic effect in the body when THC and CBD are consumed together. So that's why we do have a few products that have that. The other is a broad spectrum tincture. So that has no THC. It goes through a secondary process to eliminate that trace amount, the less than 0.3%. And so you still get the flavonoids and terpenes and the CBD, but you're not getting the THC. So for people that are drug tested or live in Idaho where we're not legally allowed to send CBD, that's a better, I mean, THC, that's a better alternative. And then the last is an isolate. That's just the CBD with none of the flavonoids and terpenes, and the THC is completely removed. This is an example of how it might show up. This is a spray, a de-stress spray. It doesn't have any of those other parts of the plant. So I'm going to have a Q&A after. This is a pretty short presentation, so I'm just going to kind of get through this. So when you're comparing CBD, it's really important that you have a quality product because there is so much out there. And at JOIYA, you can be sure that our products are clean, they're safe, they're effective, and they've been third-party tested. They've also been grown in the United States with organic farm practices. So you can be sure that you're not going to be consuming things you don't want that might come up from the soil when the plant is growing. So let's see if I've missed anything. GMP certified. We have GMP certified facilities, which is where we actually make the products. And that is good manufacturing practices. And they follow guidelines from the FDA. So it's really, really good to know your product's being clean, is clean, it's effective, it's safe, it's being done in a way where there's best practices in place. I mean, you don't really want to hear all this stuff, but when our company was founded, the beginning, our CEO was going around and vetting farms and manufacturing facilities. And he came back and he said to his leadership team, oh my gosh, you wouldn't want some of the things that I saw out there. And I can't believe these are products that are being ingested. So we were really, really careful to select very, very clean and safe places and farms that are doing it right. So you can be sure about that. When you buy a JOIYA product, you're getting the best. And then pricing, our pricing is comparable with other products on the market of the similar quality. So you can know that, we're very mindful of being thoughtful in our pricing structure. So when it comes to taking CBD, we talk about finding your sweet spot. And the reason we say that is that it works differently for everyone and your body's metabolism and just how your body functions. We say less is more. So you want to start slow and add up, not because it's going to be a problem taking too much, but because you don't need to. And it might not work if you have too much, or you're spending more money than you need to, taking more than is necessary to alleviate whatever you're suffering with. So we start slow and we work up. And a tincture, which is like you're seeing in the picture, it's essentially a dropper that you can adjust how much you're taking. So for instance, a full dropper might be 16 milligrams. You could add a little bit more if you needed it, another half a dropper, quarter dropper, or you can even start with a smaller dropper. So that's the flexibility of choosing a tincture. Lastly, I just want to say pets love hemp too. They have an endocannabinoid system, and we have a pet chew product, and we're also coming out with something called Surf and Turf, which is a tincture that can be sprayed either into your dog or cat's mouth or on the food. And that's necessary for joint pain, if they're aging, if they are a little stressed out sometimes, people use CBD for that. Okay, so I just want to close the screen and come back to our conversation. That was kind of like drinking from a fire hose, but I just wanted to kind of have it there so people could watch later. And if there's any questions, they could go from there. So any questions anybody has so far, just to talk about CBD and wellness and just general before we move on to some of the specific products? Daniela?
So maybe you're going to cover this anyway, but I'm curious, like, how do I even begin? Like, where do I begin?
Awesome.
And yeah, I know that everyone's different, but you have a lot more experience, and I'd just be really open to some general guidance, and maybe that's after you talk about products and solutions.
No, this is a perfect time. This is a great foundation. Thank you for asking that question. So we always have a wellness consultation with anyone that is looking to begin a CBD routine. And what we mean by that, it's very simple. It's a conversation. And we talk about how they're doing in their general wellness and in their lifestyle. And we talk specifically about how they are sleeping, or if they have pain, or if they struggle with stress and anxiety. And that helps us target kind of what is the presenting issue that might be helped by CBD. And since we know that CBD can help most definitely in those areas, that's where we begin. And then from there, we talk about creating a baseline solution so that people start to take some CBD and see how they tolerate it, and then make adjustments to get that balance. Because oftentimes, even though we have a suite of products with other components and natural herbs and vitamins and things that we could layer on top of this, many of us find that just starting to have a consistent routine of CBD starts to take care of things. And we'll talk a little bit about some of our stories of what we've experienced after. So we start with CBD, Daniela, and we work on the dose. We start small, and we talk about, does a customer prefer to take a tincture? Would they rather take a capsule? Like, there's that kind of stuff. Does that answer your question? Awesome. Anybody else? Anything else before we move on to some of the specific product categories? Okay. So next we are going to talk a little bit about what we have in the line at Duxbury Wellness. You'll see it when you go into the center, you'll see a small display out in the lobby of the office. And there's a whole website. And if you go to duxburywellness.com, you can go to CBD products, and you'll be able to see Allie's products on there. And then anybody else who is interested in hearing more with a consultation, I'll be happy to have a consultation with you and help you in the product selection. So we have products we take internally. We also have products we take topically. And it's really nice when we talk about taking that baseline of CBD, you can either take a tincture or you can take it in capsule form. Like, that's the way that we take it. We also do have some sprays for stress and for sleep, and that's another way to get it, but that's a little bit more of a layered solution. So what's nice about it is it's pretty much just CBD in a carrier oil, MCT coconut oil, which is very good for us. And you can take it in the morning, take it at night, add more in the afternoon, just depends. We would design what you need, and just as a starting point. And then from there, we have products that we layer on top that could be specifically designed. We have a product specifically for pain that a lot of athletes use, our Flex Plus product that also has turmeric and glucosamine in it. We have a product for stress called Poise. I love the names of it. Poise is our stress capsule, and that has a bunch of adaptogenic herbs that are really great with the CBD. So you could hypothetically have that be your morning routine, because it does have the CBD, the quantity that you would have in, say, a daily capsule. But sometimes people will take their daily and they'll layer that in, like later in the morning or in the afternoon. What else do we have? So we've got a Loom, which is for moods. That's another product that has some wonderful components that people take if they're finding that they're just feeling kind of off. It doesn't quite have that stress anxiety feel, but it's off and they're down and they need a little help. And when I think of a Loom, I think of, oh my gosh, 20, 30 years ago, as a woman, a certain time of a month, it would have been so nice to be able to have a Loom. And especially when you sleep, a lot of people find it relaxes them so much they take it later in the day, and it helps them ease into a nice gentle sleep. We have products targeted for sleep. We have some pillow mint tincture that some people will take. It's another CBN, which is in the hemp plant as well. It's another phytocannabinoid that people will use. And we have a capsule for helping people to relax and stop the brain chatter before they go to bed, for those that can't wind down before bed. So there's a whole bunch of things. It's just a few of them, as well as our pet products. So there was a title on this that we were saying JOIYA, CBD, and Slim V. So I don't want to hold back anymore. I want to talk about Slim V. So you can see Slim V is right here. Oops, I can't even do it with my finger. Here's Slim V. And these are some of the other products that come in our starter pack. But JOIYA has added Slim V to the starter pack for the rest of this month. And I don't know how long they'll keep it in, but it makes it such an incredible deal, because you essentially get 8 full-size products for more than 50% off in the cost of the product. So Slim V is our newest product, one of 3 new products coming in September. And I will share my screen again so you can see a little bit about Slim V. This is Slim V. So it's actually a capsule with CBD. It actually has 15 milligrams of CBD, which is really nice. You could be taking this as your morning dose of CBD if you'd like. And it also has vitamin B12, Korean ginseng, green tea, and a very special ingredient called THCV. And that's V like Victor, you can see in the picture. And so when I say that and you hear THC, what do you guys think of? You hear THC, what do you think?
Pot.
Right, you think pot and you think the THC I just told you we don't have in our product. This is another component. The molecule is slightly different and it behaves very, very different in our bodies. It doesn't make you high. It's not at all the same type of thing. This is THCV. And so there's a recent study that has been done, and we'll have more information to pass on that. But what I can tell you is that everyone in the study, it was a double-blind study, everyone in the study lost weight over 90 days. And the average weight loss was 18 pounds. And the HbA1c numbers of pre-diabetic patients who were in the study returned to normal. So this really has our interest, and our chemist and our doctor on the medical advisory board and our team worked to create this product and custom formulate it so that we would have a product that could bring this relief to people. And at JOIYA, it's really about total wellness. It's not just about taking a pill. It's not just about taking a tincture. We talk about practices to, integrate the body, mind, and spirit. So we talk about exercising, and we talk about meditation and prayer and relaxation and journaling. These are all the kinds of conversations that come in our community. And so with Slim V, what we're excited about is we're introducing this product. It's launching tomorrow. It's available for sale now. It's in the kit. So if you wanted to buy a $2.99 starter pack with 8 full-size products, you'd get this. And we're going to have an accountability group that JOIYA will be launching in October for people who are part of the Slim V community, who are working with the Slim V, and they can have support along the journey. So we're so excited about it. My background, lots of things in my background, product development, sales, marketing, but coaching has been in my background. Extensively trained as a coach, coached for over a decade. And I know the power of accountability and follow through. So it's really, really exciting for us to think that we're going to be having not just products that we're selling people and not just our conversations as the wellness advisor and a client, but that we're going to have a whole community of people cheering each other on and sharing resources and talking about that. So that's the place I want to pause now and throw it in for questions and answers or dialogue. I know Danila is with JOIYA as well. Brittany, I know you're a guest tonight and there'll be others watching later. So are there any questions that you think you're curious about or that you want to talk about or point out to people about what you know about JOIYA and the products?
Well, a question that I had is I am going to do this Slim V challenge that we've talked about it, Nancy, you and I know the last year and a half have been hard for a lot of people. A lot of us stopped going to the gym. We've stayed at home most of the time. So when is the Slim V going to be available?
It's shipping tomorrow. It goes live tomorrow.
Oh,
we've had the entire month of August to begin a pre-launch stage. And so today's the last day to be in the pre-launch phase. And right now you can buy 1 bottle, you can buy 3 bottles at a reduced rate, or you can buy our kit for $299 if you want some of the other products, like you want to start a daily dose of CBD and get that going. And the Slim V will be in there. But I think as we talk about Slim V, that's just one tip of the iceberg. I mean, we're really excited to share because we're going to do this rally around the community and say, okay, who wants to lose inches and who wants to drop a couple pounds? And that sounds like the thing that a lot of people are looking at and getting excited about. But the real plus to this is we're talking about total life transformation here. We're going to be inviting people to look at areas of their life that are not serving and how can you get more joy in your life and more balance? And oftentimes people don't take the time to just have those conversations. They just feel they have to be on their, treadmill and just do it the way they've always done it. And sometimes just having the support of others that are doing it will foster new conversations and new insights. So we're really excited.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
So how do you get involved with the online group you were talking about for the support?
Yep, we're going to be in mid-September. Daniela, you can chime in because I know you heard stuff first thing today. I understand in mid-September we're going to get more information about that, and we will layer that into communication with anybody that has purchased Slim D. And there'll be a special private group that will be happening not on Facebook. It will be in a private network that JOIYA has invested in and built for this purpose. It's also the same network where all the wellness advisors will be meeting and doing all the stuff that we normally do in private Facebook groups, just so we have a little bit more freedom and flexibility in what we can share. So, and privacy.
That's great.
Yeah, and privacy. But for the Duxbury Wellness community, we will, in the meantime, probably do some light touch cheering each other on in the Duxbury Wellness community private Facebook page. So for anybody.
Awesome.
Yeah. Daniela, you want to say something? You just want to cheer with us?
No, I'm cheering. I am so excited for Duxbury Wellness. I have friends on the South Shore that I'm going to refer.
Oh, great.
I'm so excited that you're leading the way with chiropractor massage, really adding this to really bolster your clients' overall holistic wellness. I'm just so psyched. And the other thing I wanted to add, because I was on a call today, is that more information, we'll get more information tomorrow, and more information on September 8th, kind of leading up. But there will be an official getting started, registering in this JOIYA branded community that is off the Facebook platform. We're not limited by Facebook rules. Yay! So it's a branded community called Community, intentionally, because JOIYA is all about extending joy and creating collaborative communities. So I think starting on September 15th, between September 15th and October 1st, people can kind of get on board. There'll be more information, I don't know what. And there's a 90-day supported challenge that will start October 1st. So really carry us through the entire holiday season, the last quarter of this year. So when I heard that, I said, perfect timing for my personal goals. And what a way, I was just thinking about this as you were sharing, Nancy. What a way for us to really choose and be in control of finishing the year strong, in a way that's within what we can control. There's so much.
I think a lot of people need that.
Yeah, a feeling, a sense of, wow, there is something that I can do for my own wellness, that the news media can't interrupt, that other things out there can't interrupt, and I don't have to be alone, and it's just going to be a positive vibe community.
That's
no
great.
Negativity allowed. So when I thought about that, I said, this is kind of revolutionary. It's evolutionary and revolutionary, and it's just started to make me, because I have 40, I'm declaring it on Facebook, 40 pounds of pandemic. I said it. Osteopath made me get on the scale. I'm going to be one of his test cases. He made me do it.
Yeah.
So I am all in, a firm, that's a yes for me, as, what is it, the show on TV? That's a yes for me, whatever. So I just wanted to add those little details.
Awesome.
If people are listening, and so that you have a little bit more heads up about why I'm so excited.
Well, thank you. And I can say that we've had a month to promote this and the response has been incredible. People are so thankful to have something. And it's not about not doing anything just because that study was done and those people didn't know and they didn't lose anything. You know, they didn't know they were in this kind of study and so they lost weight without doing anything else. It's about saying, wow, if this is what that compound can do, imagine what's possible when we actually start to get the rest of our life back in order. And I invite anybody who is considering doing the Slim V or even taking CBD in general to say, you know, I'm going to borrow from you, Daniela, because you've shared this. What if 9/1 was the new 1/1? Instead of New Year's resolutions, what if we did it on September for the last quarter and we actually finish the year in a way that when January 1st comes, we're off the gate and running, you know, whether we're building something personally, whether we're just want to feel better at home, regardless, whatever your goals are that you typically put in place in January. And a few weeks or months later, you're like, you're completely forgetting what you said. What if you actually went through the holidays with new strategies and tools and you felt better? And then you start January really strong. Imagine how your life might be this time next year. So that's the invitation.
Right.
I'm just so excited. And I want to show people what comes in the kit if they were to buy the kit. Allie, we'll show this. We're still on the screen, so we will go down here.
Can I just quickly add one quick thing? Because you talked
you
about
can.
the holidays.
Mhm.
So I don't know about other people who are watching this now or will, but for me, the holidays, roundabout starting now, September, October, they can be really stressful for any number of reasons. And then you put together people who may be more sensitive to the change in weather, it getting colder, not as much light. So let's say various issues in the tissues begin to show up.
Mhm.
And the idea of having this immense support, positive community, plus support for losing inches and weight, I think will boost moods and help us navigate the stress. And the CBD in our system, plus the metabolism boost that's in Slim V, I'm just excited about what it's going to do for me as I go into usually a season that can be kind of dicey for me personally.
I don't think you're alone in that, Danielle. I think there's a lot of people that as soon as we start closing those windows and going inside and it gets dark, it gets hard.
Yep.
So Allie, anything else you think we should cover before we begin to wrap up? I'm going to give Brittany a chance.
I don't think so. I think you've given us so much great information. I have my order in for Slim V, so I'm very excited to join the community.
Mhm.
As I said, I started out strong in COVID and then kind of fell off my regular workout schedule and, you know, being at home a lot, probably not eating as great as I should. So I'm just really looking forward to getting back on track.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful. Well, we do have the product going live tomorrow. We've been taking orders all month, so it's all starting to ship tomorrow. We are recommending if people want to get started, we will have the instructions. We'll know what to do. You can start right away. And then if you decide after your first month that you'd like to continue and buy more product and you want to join the community for support and do like a 3-month to see how it goes, you're welcome to join the community and get the support that you need. So in terms of—
thank you so much for supporting Duxbury Wellness Center.
You are so welcome. It's an honor and pleasure. And if anybody needs a wellness consultation, just reach out to me. You can text me at 617-480-4933 and just text wellness and I will get back to you and we'll talk about what you need and get you started.
Thank you, Nancy.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.